You have to get grafts and actually use grafts. So you take, grafts come in, like for apple trees, they come in dwarf M4, M8, which means M8, the tree will grow about 8 feet tall. There's M11, M12, and they go all the way up. And then what they do is that they take a stronger stock of said tree, in this case it would be avocados, and they graft the fruited branches onto the fruited branches onto what they call rootstock. And they have special rootstocks. Yeah, that one's got kind of an icky spot in there. Special rootstocks that are designed for either maybe using less water. Get rid of that. Maybe it has to be stronger for the soil that it's going in. It might be going in maybe like a high alkaline soil or low alkaline soil. And these have all been bred to be a certain size. Original avocados were not this big. Have you guys ever seen like some of the avocados where they're like the Hass avocados and they're huge? They never were that big. This is something that we've changed and modified. Okay, is that one okay? Yes. Good. We're going to add some lime juice. That's going to keep it from oxidizing. There we go. I love, love, love guacamole. I don't know of anybody who doesn't love guacamole. Okay, since we're using this one for our eggs, I want to make sure it's a good one. And then what I'll do is I'll just put them back together and wrap them in a little bit of plastic wrap to make sure. Like, look, this is why I'm glad I checked. Look at that avocado, guys. This entire avocado is crap. So can't use that one. I was going to put this one in here, and I'm glad I didn't. Hopefully this one's okay. If not, I'm going to take out some of that guacamole. Holy cow, Derek, I've got 3 bad avocados. I know, what am I supposed to do now for the, okay.
Make it for show.
No, I'm not going to make it for show. This will look horrible. I want to be able to eat them. So what we're going to do is we're going to punt, and I'm going to take the fillings from the eggs that we cooked up. This one's just as bad. This one's just as horrible inside. Look, you can see how bad these are. Look at these. I can't use these. So what we're going to do is that we're going to dye the filling of the egg stuff that we're going in. We're going to dye it with a little bit of green, and that will suffice for our coloring. We're actually going to do green and maybe a little bit of brown to kind of get that muted green color. And that will serve us very, very nicely. You can make you can add jalapenos, you can add, if you just want to do green chilies, you could add green chilies to your, one of the best things I think to do for guacamole is to actually just take a couple tablespoons of your favorite salsa and add a couple tablespoons of your favorite salsa. I've had some avocados that bad, it sucks. Yeah, and what I can do, and I will say my grocery store has this wonderful return policy. If you got bad produce, because they can't see inside the darn things. It's like looking inside of a potato and onion. They can't see them. And so I took a picture of all my bad onions, and I didn't save the receipt from this last batch. That's on me. Always save your receipt. But the last time I had all those bad onions, I took a picture of them, and I took in my receipt. They said, here, go get 7 new onions. Just take them. Just take them and use them. And I was like, well, thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to add, I'm just going to mash these up a little bit. Gosh, it's so disappointing though. But they will match them, and they will, give you new ones, whatever you want, which is like, thank you. I mean, you pay a lot of money for produce. So what a lot of people, we've been kind of having an open discussion with some other streamers, food and drink streamers, is food and drink streamers, unlike gamer streamers. Yes, gamers have to buy the game, to play the game to stream for y'all. Okay, we want to keep that kind of chunky. I don't want that real smooth. But food and drink streamers, we buy the groceries every week, and we have to travel. And inflation for us here, groceries have gone up in the last month and a half by 25%. That doesn't include gas traveling back and forth. So when I get bad produce, it really, or bad anything with regards to food, it's really disappointing because you spend a lot of money on groceries nowadays. Hello, Melody, how are you? Nice to see you today. I don't know if I want to use a whole giant clove, or let's use a medium clove. Let's use a medium clove. We're going to add a little bit of chili powder, not a lot. I just like the flavor that it adds. I think we need to add, let's add a little bit of cumin, and let's add some of our jalapeno powder. That's going to give us some spice. This jalapeno powder is my own jalapenos. I freeze dried them and then just ground them up. I'm just going to get a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of that in there. What's going on with you, Melody? What's happening in your neck of the woods? This one I open away from my face because I will tell you what, that will get you. That will get you. We're going to add about a half a teaspoon of this. I'm also going to cut up some onion. We're going to put some onion in here. That crunch. A little bit of garlic. Spicy foods. I'm all about the spice. I love spicy foods. I have so many different hot sauces. And there's some I haven't even tried yet. That's another thing too. You could add a couple dashes of Tabasco to this if you like that vinegar tang of the Tabasco. Heck yeah. All right, let's put that there. Let's get some onion going. I'm not going to put a lot of onion in here. I think I'm just going to. I'm working and lurking on my lunch break right now. Make sure you take time for you to relax, and there we go. So many people work from their desk now. I'm like, walk away from your desk, people. Go outside, get a different view, but that's probably enough onion. Yeah, that's probably plain. Don't forget to add your salt. Oh my gosh, don't forget to add salt to your guacamole. You'll have a very flat guacamole if you don't add your salt. Doesn't matter what kind of salt. You want to do Himalayan pink salt, you can do Himalayan pink salt. I'm the crazy one. I have ghost chilies. I have people that eat those things like for snacks, and I'm like, no, that's a little much for me. Let's get our garlic in there. Oops. So, Melody, do you take your own lunch to work, or do you buy your lunch there? Does your work provide lunch? Some people have work like lunch is provided by their company, like if you work for something like Google or whatever. Boop. No, that's way too hot for me. Just chopping up a little bit of garlic. Gotta have some of that garlic tang. Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use this whole clove. Loving the outfit. I've got my little witch's hat going on. We've got our little skeleton earrings. Everything here, my earrings and my t-shirt, they all glow in the dark. Particularly after lights like these, like the streaming lights. If I go in the bathroom and close the door because that bathroom doesn't have a window in it, the main bathroom, I could probably read a book from my shirt alone. I could probably actually read a book. I'm working from home, so all leftovers. Well, there you go. Like a date night in, she is so good about planning out her meals. And that's another thing we were talking about was, so if you're in a grocery store, right, and you need, Claire, I just left you. Claire, oh my gosh. Can we get a shout out for Claire Coffee? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Claire, I feel like I just left you like 15 minutes ago. I feel like it was just 15 minutes ago and I was just gonna sneak away. Hello Raiders, thank you so much for coming in. Did we get a shout out from Miss Claire Coffee? I hope we did. If not, I will do the shout out right now. There we go. Well, why can't I type this in? Come on, come on. KL, there we go. There we go. We're having a spooky party. So what we already did was, well, our first dish is we made our lady fingers. These are just pretzel rods that we covered. We melted some white chocolate, dyed it green, almond slivers for fingernails. We're having all the fun inside there. So now we're getting ready to make, I'm making some, sorry, it's Halloween. I'm making barf. And I'm going to be carving a pumpkin. And this is what we're working on right now. I'm going to be carving this up, and the pumpkin will be barfing out the guacamole into a bowl and surrounded by chips. A little bit later on, I'm making my alien eggs. They're in the refrigerator, steeping in some brown food coloring. It's going to be so much fun. You like my earrings? They glow in the dark. These actually glow in the dark. So does my shirt. I could go into the bathroom right now and close the bathroom door that doesn't have a window, so it's like really, really dark in there. I would glow so much I could probably read a book because of all the glowy stuff I have on there. But Raiders, my name is Kanara, food and drink streamer here on Twitch. Today we're doing all like horror party food. So if you're hosting a party, these are party food you can make and have out that have that spooky kind of creepy theme. If you're going to a party, and so, you know, we always ask the host or host, hey, what can I bring? And they'll say, oh, you don't have to bring anything. Well, how about if I bring some witch's fingers? And these are just, all these are is chocolate covered pretzels. And this is white chocolate that we dyed green, a little almond sliver to look like a fingernail. So we have a lot of fun foods inside here. But Raiders, if you guys could do me a huge favor, this would make this old gal really happy. Right down there is my logo, and I'm laughing because I'm having such a good time. If you can click on that, that just removes the raid URL and brings you right into my stream. Boop, boop. So how'd the rest of your grub come out? So this guacamole is just, I think this is 2 or 3 avocados, a little bit of onion, a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of cumin, salt, and a lot of lime juice. I like a lot of lime juice in ours. I'm not doing this smooth. I want it to be kind of chunky because we want it to have that visual effect of, oop. I always forget to ask that. Yes, yes. We even have a command for it. So what all did you put in there though? I remember you said you didn't have any vegetable. Did you add the tomatoes? Did you put the tomatoes in there? Okay, we're gonna remember we taste as we go. That needs more lime. Oh, but that's good. That is tasty. Coolest horror food I've seen. That's in 2 weeks. That's in 2 weeks, Frank. We're doing the cat litter cake. That'll be a fun one. Cat litter cake and ginger dead men is what we're doing on that day. I've got to find a gingerbread cookie cutter though. I don't have one. Oh, be there's awesome. Garlic, onion, minced, canned tomato. There you go. Yeah, zucchini, tomato top. That is a whole meal right there. That is like all the good stuff just in one thing. All you gotta do is just slice off beautiful chunks. All right, we have lots of acid in here. That's gonna keep it from oxidizing. Also gonna add flavor. Remember, we've talked about acid so many times on this stream and what acid does to your palate while you're eating foods that are fatty. Avocados are very fatty. Good fat. So here's the thing is, when you're eating like pulled pork, oftentimes you'll get that vinegar-based coleslaw that'll go like on top of like a pulled pork sandwich and whatever. So what you want to do is, particularly adding the acid to this, 1, helps with oxidation, but 2, the biggest part that it's going to do is when you take a bite of that guacamole, you get the wonderful mouthfeel from fats. That's what fats do. I have no idea what he's doing. That give you that wonderful, you go, tastes so good. You instantly close your eyes and go, But then when the acid hits your tongue, the acid lifts the fats off your tongue. That bite goes down. Then when your next bite comes in, your palate is already refreshed and ready for the next bite of guacamole or pulled pork, whatever you have coming in. So that's why we do vinegar. That's why we do vinegar. Okay, that is looking pretty good. tasting even better. Tasting even better. So now we're gonna carve a pumpkin. I haven't carved a pumpkin in, oh gosh, probably 8 years. So when we put our plastic wrap on, we're not gonna just put it down over the top of the bowl. A lot of air trapped between the top of this and the top of the guacamole. And we don't want that oxidation. So we're gonna lift this up, push this down, and we're gonna create a seal. There we go. All the way around. So that when we put this in the fridge, you can see it's all the way down inside that. Oh yes, I know that dance really well, Claire. I know that dance really well. So that's gonna keep it nice in the fridge. We're gonna let this refrigerate up. All those flavors are gonna meld together. Those eggs in there are looking fun, fancy, and free. I can't wait to do those. I'm really, really excited for those. So now we gotta carve a pumpkin. Like I said, I have not carved a pumpkin in forever. Thank you for that follow, Afrobean. Anybody who follows, they get a seat at the infinity table. Purchase at infinitytables.com, not endorsed or a real webpage, and you get to customize your chair. Dade, when he is here, sits in a recliner chair. Croc sits over in a lime green beanbag. Whatever chair you want, that's the chair you get. You're from Sweden. Frank, my daughter lived in Malmö for 7.5 years. She just returned to the States 2 years ago. So she is, and we've been to Sweden. We went to Malmö and visited her there, and I'll tell you, you know what I love about going to Europe? Okay, 2 things I love about going to Europe. And we're not world travelers. In 2016, for our 30th wedding anniversary, we went and stayed a week in Paris, France. Then we went over to Prague, Vienna, Austria, and then from there we flew over to Sweden, and we stayed just a little over a week in Sweden to visit my daughter. And first of all, the public transportation system, amazing, absolutely amazing. But what I didn't realize that I found absolutely fascinating was when you get over there, the air smells totally different. It does not smell like home. Like I know how my air smells here. And now when you're living here, you don't even smell it. It's when you leave and come back, you're like, oh yeah, it smells like home. I recognize the smell of this. But when you go to Europe, everything smells so different. And that's because the different foods that are being cooked, different detergent that's being used, anything that's being put out to the air is different. And I just love that. You were born in Malmö? Sir Grunge, I didn't know that. Yes, it was I kept going, oh man, this smells good. Especially when we went over, we took a train from Paris, France, over to Normandy to go over to the World War II memorial because my father-in-law was a World War II vet and he was there. And to go over there, and it was just like, oh, even the train smelled, well, that was the first time I've ever been on like an actual train, not just like a commuter train. It was amazing, but no, it's so good. It just smells different. It doesn't smell like here. You're like, oh, so this is what France smells like. Oh, this is what Austria smells like. And it's just all so different. You know, the air is so different. It's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And that's the one thing I miss about traveling is that's the first thing I do is not so much in the airports, but when you get out and like you're at your hotel and you go walking outside, you're ready to go sightsee. You walk out, and the first thing I do is like, I just want to take a minute and listen and smell the air. That's so exciting to me. It's coffee time. just a little late there, but we're welcome. A little late. That's okay. That's okay, Craig. I'm like, just a little late. But you know what they say? Better late than never. Better late than never. But now I'm gonna blow my nose. But now we gotta cut up this pumpkin because we gotta get him. Oh, I might as well grab my candle. Oh. Well, grab. I'm just gonna take one out of one of my emergency mason jar candles. Oh, somebody just. Oh, hang on. I've got this. Somebody just followed. Who just followed and joined this family? I can't believe it. We are so close to 2,000 follows, guys. I have got to come up with something fun to do to celebrate that. Krager List, thank you so much for that follow. I greatly appreciate that. It's like such a happy tune. Yay, somebody followed. Next week we're doing, oh no, not next week. Wednesday we're doing Silence of the Lambs. And we're having some lamb with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. That's gonna be a pretty one. There's a ghost on your cabinet and on your shirt. And there's one in the pantry. Enter if